to 15 to 20 years they are in the industry, and they are crafting their own journey to just tell us, have their own voice to define who they are. So pleasure to just bring all of you together in front of you to show who we are and what we are, and wanted to share the journey with you today to just have 15 to 20 years they are in the industry. Have your own voice today and using our members. So that's where we can just do that. All of you can just mute it in case if it is echoing, so that we don't get that disturbance for others, right? Thank you so much, and a pleasure welcome our four stalwarts today. So a privilege to welcome Nisri. So Nisri is her own words. She defines her own voice and own kingdom of her own. So being a banker, and in last 20 years, she just crafted her own journey of being an entrepreneur. I get a goosebump when I speak about her. So when people are thinking about banking as a stable job, and she defined it saying that, no, that's not the stable job. My passion is to be on my own. And she just owns two companies today, and then crafting more entrepreneurs and more freelancers for creating their own journey. Kudos to you, Nisri, and welcome to the session. Thanks to be with us and for taking us.
Manjula, it was a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much.
Right. So thanks, Nisri. So the second person I would like to bring is Sanjana. Sanjana is just would like to share her. She's an evangelist and passionate about diversity and inclusion. After that, I would like to say her work. She's a client for us. Beyond that, she is a go-to person where I was just looking at her, where she is contributing about it. I was just saying she's a volunteer for Beyond Foundation to bring more women, and she is a part of Women Ace at WIT, where she is just bringing plus her regular job. So that is Sanjana, where we are proud to have you, Sanjana, today. Your passion is infectious, and thanks for being with us. Lovely to have you today. Awesome. All right. And the next person I would like to bring, Padma. Padma is again 2 decades of industry experience, and she started. And I was just talking to her and narrating her story when she finished her college and just joined as a contractor, and then where she is heading towards as a practice lead in Infosys. Not only that, and when I just connect with her, her team is literally just holding her and saying that, hey, with her we can do any wonder. So not just not the team, and she's also connected with us to just say that, Manla, I just wanted to do something for our society, and let's just create more women to just have their own voice to craft their journey. Thanks, Padma, for joining us, and it's a privilege to have you today.
Thank you so much, Manjula. Thank you.
Thank you. And Aarti is another 2 decades of veteran where we are seeing her, and she's an investment banker. And with her passion, and as a single mom, yesterday we were talking about it. Hey, you know what? Crafting my own journey is a part and parcel of the life. And we never give up, and we just create our own journey and keep moving about it. Whether I have a freedom or not, I don't allow others to just talk about it. I have my own freedom. I decide what I want to do. Hats off to you to hear about the story, Aarti, how you are just working to make a 30-year-old from younger to today, where we are seeing your kids. Would like to just hear your journey and then take it forward. So with that, I would like to welcome all of you once again, and thank you, audience, and being a passionate leaders where you are crafting your journey and being with us. And heartfully, we would like to just give you loads and loads of tips and ideas to bring you back to work stream and craft your own journey. Today, if at all you're just carrying your own voice saying that I can do it, I will do it, I must do it. That's the only mantra we wanted to hear today, and take it forward and be with us. And whatever we can just help you to make it happen, we are more than happy to do that. So would like to just hear from speakers a few moments. What is freedom for you? And tell us your freedom journey, what you have just seen in your industry. Over to you, Nisri. Go ahead.
See, when you say the word freedom, usually people gets a feeling that we are deprived of something. So I don't want to think of freedom in that way. We are not, as women, we are not deprived of anything. It is just that we have not raised our voice, or maybe we have not come forward to achieve what we want in life, because we constrict ourselves when it comes to whether our financial life or our career. we always think that our duties may be personal responsibilities only. And maybe traditionally, we are brought up with a mindset like being a good mother, being a good wife, or being a good daughter. That makes a woman. So naturally, it's been transformed from the generation that having freedom means, your freedom or your world is just stuck to your house. It's good to see that today things have been changing and women are thinking in terms of financial independence. So I have a platform called Her Money Talks, which helps women to achieve financial freedom. So financial freedom doesn't mean that you are deprived of anything, but it is always having your own say or having your own contribution to the family. Or suppose you want to do something for your career, for your future, or for your family's future, having been able to contribute to it in your own way. That is one definition of financial freedom for me. Second is that I've been seeing a lot of women who have a lot of career aspirations, but they are restricting themselves by saying that, oh, I have to ask my husband, I have to ask my father, or I have to, even to start an investment, they depend on somebody else for making a decision for them. So not being able to make the decision is a lack of freedom, which we ourselves are creating. So we are not deprived of anything. We ourselves are creating that lack of freedom. And now when you say you need freedom, it is having a free will, a free mind, in fact, to do what you want, to achieve what you want in life.
Awesome. Lovely, Nisari. Thanks for the words. Rightly said across. No one has to give a freedom. It is we who have to just feel it and then create it and then make it happen. Thanks for sharing the words. And I would like to invite Sanjana to share a few words about it. What is that you think we should be just looking forward, Sanjana, in your words? Please go ahead. You're on mute, Sanjana. Please unmute yourself. Thank
Sorry
you.
about that. So
Sure.
I'm saying, building on to what Nesri mentioned, when I think of freedom, I think as a human being and not necessarily a man or a woman for that matter. But so when I think as a human being, we are fortunately in a country where there is freedom. And if you look at the definition, it says freedom of choice, expression. And as a woman, I'm born and brought up in an environment where, fortunately, again, my parents never deprived me of anything. Although we lived in a very small village, with whatever was possible for them, they gave us the best thing. But that remained in my mind because I never had any limitation on what I could think, what I could pursue as a education, what I could pursue as a career. While there was always guidance from our parents to say, hey, this is what probably we believe will work for you, I think I still had a choice to say, this is what I want to do. So you're right, Nesari, that it is about us to make that choice, to leverage the freedom that we have and say, I want to do this because I think this will work for me. And go ahead and experiment. Nobody is going to, nobody's going to charge you back for that because it was your decision. You will like, even if you are not able to be, not being successful, you will like that you at least tried, you attempted, no matter what the outcome is. So for me, the freedom is about having that choice, having, being able to express myself as I want. Of course, there are a lot of things to be taken care of, being empathetic with others, but I think all of that we're good at as women. We are very sensitive to everybody around us, so it naturally comes to us. But ensuring that you have a career of choice, you are able to change your career, you're able to take decisions yourself, even at home, in the kitchen as well. Some may not like, but even in the kitchen, you have the choice. Slowly, you will start wiring yourself. Hey, tomorrow is Monday. This is what I want to cook, and you ensure you plan and organize accordingly, right? So it becomes a practice for you. You will no longer rely on anyone to do it. So I think that is what really freedom and independence means to me. Thank you, Manjari.
Absolutely. Awesome. Awesome for the, sharing that. So that reminds me to share something like that. In a world, we are 50-50 men and women we are talking about. Fortunately or unfortunately, the rest of the 50 are raised by the women only. In spite of that, we have come back and then we are talking about it, taking the cues right from your kitchen, you can just start about it. Honestly, we can just do any wonder, anything right from the morning you wake up till evening. It's our privilege and our comfort to do whatever we want. But somewhere we have to just re-register saying that, hey, you have a power. So thanks for just sharing that. That's a lovely one. So let's just hear from Padma. Padma, please go ahead and help us about what's freedom for
Yeah.
you.
Yes, so whatever Nisari told, Sanjana told, and they're very apt. Actually, that we are restricting ourselves, and it's high time that each and every woman, they have to change the mindset, and they have to change the people around them, the mindset. I mean, like their mindset as well. The kind of restrictions that they say give to the women, saying that no, you are working only, then you will get privilege. I mean, you will get some kind of respect and not otherwise. So that kind of a mindset we have to change. I think somewhere we have already started off. If you look at it, the younger generation have, they're trying to prove themselves that it's, yes, there is no differentiation between the gender at all, right? So if you look at it, we, and in the corporate also, majority of the people are like getting into the corporates, are like, if you look at it, uh, easily 30 to 40% of women employees are there. But only thing is, it depends on how exactly they're going to continue with their career rather than taking a break, right? So that's where they need to balance it out. And yes, it is the mindset is what they need to change. And for women, I mean, Indian women are blessed with the kind of, strength that they have to ensure that they can sustain with whatever the kind of situation that they're going to get into, be it personal, be it professional, whatever it is.
Great. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to come back to that strength, what you have just used to explore how you have just used that as a strength in your corporate struggle. I'm going to ask about
Because
it.
I have gone through the pain completely. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I missed you, Manjula.
I said I'm going to just explore more about it, about your strength, what you have just used. I'm going to come back to you, Padma, to
Okay,
know
fine.
about it. Yeah, right. Okay, good. Aarti, just wanted to have your words as well. What is that freedom defines for us? Please share your views.
Freedom to me is pursuing your passion. Okay, be doing it a full-time job, be doing a couple of hours. I've been a single mom, and for me balancing was the first keyword to manage between my home and my children. And I've managed it for last 30 years, and I feel great pride in saying that I've been able to manage both the factors very well. I was fortunate to be in a job which gave me the liberty to work at the same time as when my children would go to school. So I would, despite my office would start at 10 o'clock, I would start my work at 8:30 and be back home at 2:30 or 3 o'clock, because I used to work a lot on the stock market those days. So I would work according to the stock market timings. So I had that passion to do the work. I had that freedom to do the work, so I could manage both the things very well. And that time required me to be give attention to my children, and which I did. But today the kids have grown up, they are on their own, they don't need my time. So I put my 10 to 10 or 8 to 8 at work, and I can be 24/7 available to do my work. So if I have been a little slow in I would say that where my career comes to, that okay, fine, I grew a little slowly, but it didn't make much difference to me, because at every stage of my life achieved what I wanted to. So my passion kept me going, and whatever support in terms of colleagues or in terms of family was there or not there, it didn't make a difference, because I had a vision and I had a facts to kind of like take my direction to take my life on to. So as long as you keep your passion alive, and as long as your goal alive, and as long as you appreciate whatever manner you are achieving, that's the freedom to you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Lovely. What a way to just describe that, saying that it doesn't matter what others are thinking. I have a passion and I can define it on my way and then go forward. Where there are moments where you share that when people have just go for a 9:30, 10:30 job start, I start at 8:30 and just go, because I also take care of the family. Lovely, Aarti, to just know
Thank you.
about that inspiring words, to just look at that. Thank you for sharing your personal views and defining who you are and what you are just looking forward to create your own voice, your own action. So, with that, we have also asked our audience, our community members to share what you want to hear from our speakers, right? So, we just got a whole lot of questions and we are handpicking and then going to share with each of you to just start sharing about how are you going to respond to that and how you're going to be resourceful for them today. So the first question, let's just pick it up. I have a long break. Will it affect my chances of getting a job? So I think I am going to ask this question to Sanjana because Sanjana is what to say, a great example where she herself have just picked up a handful of women from our community, and she would be the right person to talk about for our community members to hear about it from her directly. Over to you, Sanjana. Please tell us. Is it difficult?
So, Vanjana, first of all, it's not difficult and it's not even impossible. That's a very, very simple, straightforward answer. Just to relate to, relate with my experience, and I'm sure all the audience members would also relate. I started my journey as an engineer, unfortunately, in year 2000, where we saw the whole Y2K impact. So while I could have landed up a job, and which I did through campus, they put us on layoff for 6 months, and then I had to look for another job. So I started my career in marketing after doing my engineer. And about 3 years, then I moved into BPO because that was booming that time. But because I had the engineering degree, I didn't have to start from scratch, right? I began at the lead level. I did night shift for about 9 years, and
Wow.
that included my pregnancy. My son is 17 years old right now, right? So with that, after that, I said, hey, I have to do something. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me to sail through pregnancy. We used to have 3 months of maternity leave that time, if everybody remembers, and didn't have the leisure of staying at home, enjoying the motherhood. So when it came to actually restarting work, the option that I have was again in night shift, and I said, oh my god, it's going to be very difficult. uh, Basically with nursing, right? We all face all these issues when you're away from the child, when you're in the nursing stage. So I had to think of alternatives. My husband was the one who supported me equally in this entire journey. Thankfully, I also had a mentor to say, you will not give up, you will not stay away from your office. So even if you're not working full time, we want to give you a project. You may earn some piddly 5-10,000, but do that. It will give you the confidence that is required for you to stay on. Then I requested, can I take another 3 months sabbatical after the maternity leave? Because I don't think my child is grown enough that I could leave him in the daycare. And they gladly, Zensar Technologies is a company that I work with, they agreed. And my child was the reason that we got crash on campus. Although it started during the daytime and I continued to do night shift, I think the whole journey was very, very, enriched in terms of learning for both me and my husband. My child has grown up to be very, very independent because he ended up being in crash right from early age. We struggled. We found out 2 hours option of crash, 3 hours or half day, full time. But once he started going to school, I think since things fell in place, I did my MBA after 10 years of my engineering, and I did this over the weekend. I had to do full time over the weekend because I couldn't do full time otherwise during the week while doing my job. And my son was just about 3 years old then. After doing MBA, again, I reached out to my leaders and I said, now I want to shift into HR because that's what I did MBA for. And I got a role there and I kept moving on. Then I said I was tired of doing a role out of a corporate location because everything seems to be coming handy, very supportive. I want to challenge myself. And I decided to go to Hyderabad, took a stint away from the corporate location for 3 years with my son alone. My husband couldn't join full time, but he would visit us in between. But me and my son had, great chemistry that had to be developed. So one thing that I realized that there was a guilt that I had because when I did night shift, my son was always close to my husband, and whenever he needed anything, instead of saying "Mama," he would say "Dad." And that was very, very troubling. And I realized that okay, there will be time where I will be able to fulfill that my own guilt by having him come close to me. And that was when I went to Hyderabad. He was just 7 years old. 3 years we spent there, very independent. He lived, alone, coming to school, coming after school, taking care of himself. A lot of things that I taught him, how to take care of emergency at home, fire, this, that. All of that was part of learning. And the reason, and then I came back to Pune for doing other roles. Fortunately, I had change of roles every 2-3 years, because that was another ask that I had for myself. I didn't want to get bored with doing what I am. So while doing talent management and diversity and inclusion, today I'm in a situation where I see my other siblings or cousins who have children, and the way their children have grown, the kind of independence and think free will that my child has, I felt all of that fell in place. And the reason I shared this, because I know some part of it will connect with you, right? Some part, if
Yeah.
not everything. And that only means that you also can move forward in that direction. Any organization today, fortunately, is not thinking of career break as a penalty. So I want all the audience members, if they are still looking for a job, don't think that you were deprived of something or you missed something just because you took a career break. We are in a very good state right now. Make the most of it. All that they will expect is, do you have the skills to do a job? Which job you have to choose, right? It doesn't matter. But do you have that skill? Because obviously there is some gap that has happened in between. That gap is because of the dynamically changing industry, technology, which has led to that impact in all sectors and not just IT industry as such. So the answer is, it is not difficult, it is not impossible. You just have to bridge the skill gap, nothing else, and you will do well.
Awesome. What an inspiring way, Sanjana, to share your journey and make us proud of you every moment. And it's not one part of it, all the parts are making sense just to do that. And just to resonate with what you have just said, and for the audience, what they asked, couple of pointers I picked up which would be resonating to them is the good thing you spoke about it, you had a mentor who can keep pushing you, saying that, hey, don't give up. Of course, your spouse is also equally just being part of your growth. But having said that, the mentor has also played a vital role to just make you to grow on that. That's part of it. And second, the
Archana,
mentor also.
just to add, this was not a formal mentor that was given, but I happened to buddy with my own HR colleague, and she was senior enough. And we used to keep talking about all pregnancy woes, what happens after that. And she said, don't worry, I've gone through this, I will help you. So for me, it was more a buddy who helped me through this. She was in a position to give me a project, so I call her as a mentor. The other thing about my spouse, it didn't come very naturally. In fact, just on a lighter note, my husband is somebody who would not have got into having a child at all. But, obviously it happened. And then it was about a conversation to have, saying, look, if I need to continue on a job, which is also a requirement for the family, I want you to support me in my career. This child is equally yours as mine. And that conversation was required. Either you do this yourself or get a book. There are books to tell the partner what they need to do, and then get them to be part of your support system. So it is not that I was lucky to have all of this. I think it was a matter of effort, and then it came in place.
Absolutely awesome, right? Where it is not, we are not getting everything in hand. We are crafting, like the way Aarti was talking about. I'm a single mom. I need to just figure it out how to work. I'm supposed to be 8:30 to just go about it like that. My husband is not a person who wants to have a kid, and I have to just train him in the way. This is how we are just going to be, and that's the power you just got it. Thank you
You
so
know,
much.
I'm going to add something. Sometimes you are loaded with the situation and you have to make fun out of that. I mean, enjoyment out of that, not fun, but enjoyment out of that. You have to like that situation and create it in a positive manner. So, whether you go to work after 10 years of sabbatical or 5 years of sabbatical or after a pregnancy sabbatical, you have to take it in that positive stride to be always enjoy in whatever you're doing.
Lovely, Aarti. Thank you. So this is a good discussion. We are just triggering over there how we can just enjoy about it. So probably the next question is also going to ponder more thoughts for us. The question has just come over there is taking up a full-time role in corporate is tough due to the personal situation. Is there any other opportunity I can think of? I couldn't think about any other than misery to talk about it. Misery, tell us, because you would be the person who would be the have to just discuss about it. Go for it, Nisri.
Definitely. There are a lot of options today. I mean, it's not a full-time job because I would say there are a lot of startups, even corporates now thinking of flexible resourcing, and even a lot of companies to cut their costs. They want to outsource activities. So right from content writing to digital marketing or being an influencer or to coding related activities or lot of opportunities are there out in the market where you can do from the convenience of your home, and you don't need a 10 to 5 job for that. So just to note, I mean, just to brief a few, if you are an HR person, of course, you can be HR consultant or a recruiter or on your own. If you are into writing, right from graphic designing to social media marketing to copywriting to content writing, a lot of opportunities are there. When it comes to digital marketing, being a social media manager, or even if you are a little bit tech savvy, nowadays it's very easy to create a website using WordPress. So if you are giving something, you're offering like something like a cost-effective solution for startups, where you get a website, get done at 10,000 rupees or something like that. That itself is a thing. You are making a brand. You can create a brand of your own and offer your services to startups and other platforms. And just to get into that groove, maybe it's not always getting stuck to one company. Instead of that, you can be a freelancer and work with multiple companies. You can get into tie up with various forums, various associations, clubs, and become a service partner for them, where you can offer your services for all the community members or all the members. So these are just some hints where how you can start a career or you can pursue your career, not having a 10 to 5 job, but your own. It's all about kickstarting a nano entrepreneurship or becoming a freelancer, or what you call becoming a consultant. However, based on your expertise, you can do that. But if you are a very fresher, no, just few opportunities, any domain, take whether it is tech, writing, digital marketing, or even healthcare. Say if suppose you are qualified as a dietitian, you need not join a company, but you can offer your own consultation services in alliance with various online platforms today. So like this, there are n number of opportunities. So yeah, that itself says, I mean, you can say 50 ideas, 100 ideas. I can tell a lot about it.
Awesome. So that's lovely, right? So sitting in online, we can do any wonder. And today, that is the platform we are today. Whatever you think, you can just do it about it. But just to add a couple of pointers for Nisri's part of it, your networking and connecting with people should be the great skill you should be acquired to just do about it. Because the moment you wanted to be on your own, service mentality and connecting with people and helping is going to be your key area. Please hone it. That's part number one. And part number two, you don't need to do it all alone. You can just join any volunteer group, network group, or just get acquainted with that, and slowly you would be able to carve out. And including if you're a homemaker and wanted to be a homepreneur, plenty of opportunity, whatever you have. You don't need to worry about it. Thanks, Nisri, for sharing about that, right? Lovely to hear about that, right? Fair enough. So we have another interesting question where people would like to just know and answer that. How long it will take for me to land a job? I am in sabbatical. It's fine, but how long it's going to take a time for me to land a job? So probably I'm just going to ask this Padma to answer this question. Padma, how to prepare and how long? You are from HR. Somebody wants to come back and say, "Hey, I wanted to come to HR. How long I will take to join in HR?" Can you just show some light on it, Padma?
So, according to me, see, I've never gone through this situation anyways, because the reason being I was just on a maternity break. I mean, like the way Sanjana mentioned, those days it was just 3 months. And they were extending at the max by 1 more month and not beyond that, giving the, medical conditions, right? So, but then according to me, for people to take up and land up a job, what first of all they need to ensure that they need to decide on what exactly they need to get into, right? So because they are the best judge for themselves. So first the individual has to take care of what exactly the strength is, And based on that, they need to take a call on what is the field that they want to choose. Could be anything, like the way Nisari mentioned, the umpteen number of opportunities in the, in this scenario these days. So if you look at it, first they need to check on their strength and the confidence that they need to have. So they have to build on their confidence. And if they think that yes, this is the thing that I want to do, and again, the passion also comes into picture over here. So all these things put together, they need to take a call where exactly they need to get into which job. For example, in case if they're interested to take up, since I'm from HR, so in case if they want to take up any kind of an opportunity in HR we have, it's like recruitment, then comp and ben, and then employee relations, etc. Right? So if their strength is numbers, then numbers and data, then they can get into compensation benefits. And the way, the one best part that you spoke about is like networking. That is the key. So they need to have the networking since they're getting back from the break, the long break, for whatever the reason may be, or whatever the background that they would have had earlier. These things are like immaterial, actually speaking. Nobody is going to judge on this. It's going to judge on how exactly you're going to present it. So, what are the background homework that you need to do for that? So, if you're going to present it yourself during the interview, give some confidence, then that's what is required. So, you will be there. So, first of all, you need to choose that particular job, what is your interest is, and you need to have the good networking so that you'll have some kind of a guidance. And people like her second innings and all, they're there to guide these kind of these set of people, right? So they have to uh, uh, they just have to get into all these things and then only build upon all these things, and that's when they'll get to know what exactly, if you have some guidance. If the thing is like, it's not each and everybody can be on their own, right? Some kind of a guidance is very much required, unless it could be a small like the way Lizzie was mentioning, and even Sanjana for that matter, even she mentioned about it, right? It's like, to do something, if you have to approach somebody, even if it's the smallest of things also, you need somebody. It could be a friend, it could be even irrespective of the gender. So somebody to just go and ask for it. So that guidance is very much required, especially for the kind set of women who are not that active on the social media. See, I'm not at all on social media, to be honest with you, though I've spent in the corporate for so many years, right? So there are like some restrictions at each and every every women. So but then they have to overcome it. So for that they have, everything. See, first of all, we have to be independent. Unless until we are independent, nothing is going to happen. We are not going to achieve anything. Otherwise we'll just it'll just restrict us to just stick on to the home only, right? So even I had lots of challenges in continuing with my career, but then that is the decision that I had taken. It could be anything, because maybe some commitments, blah blah blah, whatever it is, right? But still, this is the decision I took. That's why, like the way you were mentioning, yes, there is nobody to give you the freedom, right? You have to take it on your own. You need to take a stance saying that yes, this is what I need to do. Yes, initial stages you will get lots of hiccup, but then you need to be strong enough to continue overcome it. You just need to take it up, the challenges, whatever it may come. So you should see, I've seen some of the people, though they've restarted because of, again, something would have come up on their way, and they, okay, this is not the cup of cake for me, so I just need to discontinue. No, you should not do that. As I mentioned earlier, all women are like very strong, and especially Indian women are very strong. So they need to take up this as an opportunity. They need to overcome all these challenges. They'll find a way. They'll find a way for sure. That's what I've come through. That's it.
Awesome. Lovely to hear that, right? We are all very strong and we will find it. And people like us are here to hold and take care of our sisterhood as well. So thanks for sharing that. So that gives another leeway for me to ask Aarti another wonderful question, because she keeps talking about you should have a passion. So I just am finding this question very apt for her to talk about it. How can I put my career as a priority, Aarti? Just tell us about it. How do we do that?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. I'll tell you, passion. Okay, fine. I sometimes it happens that I have a passion. I'm a foodie by passion. Okay, but I have interest in finance, I have interest in investments and banking and all. That earns me the money. Now, how do I keep my passion alive? Is like, maybe I don't get a full-time job into that, and I do a side work that keeps me busy with that. I I try to do. I know that if I get into the food business full time, it's not probably going to give me the same income that I source from my current job or whatever it is. But I have to keep that passion alive. So probably I do like a home food service, or I do a weekend cooking service for people. I used to do that because at that time I was very passionate about it. Also, initially when it started with it, for me it was like, I had to earn money from every source, be it my work, be it my weekend working. I used to take I used to do classes with people who were from this learning school, and they used to we used to teach them about the habit of investment. So investment has also been a passion with me. So I used to teach them, these young girls from school and college pass out, and teach them how to go about their investments, even save money out of your pocket monies. And it was like so surprised, because I would meet people who would say that we don't know what saving is, we don't know what pocket money is, because our parents are taking care of us. And I would say, like, how are you guys going to lead your life when you grow up? When you become parents, when you become like adults, how will you take care of your money? No clue to any one of them. So that's what we used to teach them. And I used to enjoy teaching these kids, because I used to feel that they know nothing about investments. And at the end, when I would come back home, this class used to give me some pretty little amount of a 2,000 rupees a class. And it used to happen in a shopping market, like a South Extension market. I would come back, I would spend that money to buy maybe a pair of shoes or a pair of bags from there, and come back home. So it's not that I was like saving that money, or it was adding into my kitty of the expenses, but it's just a passion to be with those children, teach them about, a lot of things. When I used to do my food classes, I would like, it was just a word of mouth. It was just amongst the friends. And not that I was getting any money from them, but the pleasure I would get when they would call back and say, wonderful food came from you and we appreciate, and our guests liked it. So it just grew from there. And while everything was being done, whether I was pursuing my passion over the weekend, whether I was doing my full-time job, the thing which remained always important to me was investments, was savings. You sometimes don't know that what are the circumstances that will take you to break your career. It could be a ill person in the house, it could be a child problem, it could be a support system required at home. You never know what things will happen. So investments and savings, you have to take that as your first priority. And why I'm referring it to in this forum and in context of this question is because a lot of the women I see are the one who are going back to work after taking a break. So I always used to tell that you must always keep 6 months of your expenses as your fallback money. Because what happens, you lose your job? What happens, circumstances come and you have to quit your job and there's no income in the house? What happened to a person when you are a single earning member in the house? You're not going to go and beg people for money. So you must always have your back end support system ready. Now, how do I make that investment, or how do I generate? What happens when people who, sometimes single parents, or sometimes people who are single earners in the family, work on it? Make saving and make investment as your first habit. The first expense on your agenda should always be the savings. You have to give a percentage of your of your monthly income, be it sufficient for my family or not, but I have to take out that investment, so that the time I've taken a break from my career, that's the money which is going to help me. So, keep your passion alive. Again, do things over the weekend, short terms, once in a month, go attend your classes, something that keeps you going, that keeps you live, and, keeps you feel like, okay, whether my job is attractive or not, at least my passion over the weekends, or my passion over the, for working from home, is keeping me pepped up to work more on it.
Lovely. Aarti, you have just triggered an excellent point, which is going to just a segue for us to open up the financial independence. And you just provoked in a nicer way to just think about it. The one disclaimer I would like to just bring it over here is here is the women where they are not working. That's where we are just finding, right? So I can understand if you're working, you have your income and you can just apportionate a portion of that, saying that it's your saving as your first expense and to just make it. Here they don't have. Now I want all of you to pour your thoughts. We want them to think through that. The good point that you brought it is a packet money concept, what you're just doing it. Of course, they do have a income for a family. They don't have an income for self. Some of them, that's where. So even if that's the case, how do we bring that financial independence as a priority for each of them? I would like to start with you since you just provoked that. And I want all the members to talk about your own tip to make that happen for the segment of people who are not working, plus the segment of people who are working. Go ahead, Aarti. Please start the discussion.
So I'll tell you, you know what happens is when I'll take the both scenarios separately. I'll take the scenario of non-working women and working women. Non-working, what is my capacity as a non-working woman? I'm a housewife, right? And most of the typical Indian patriarchal families, I will get a certain amount to run my kitchen or run my house, unless and until I have a very sorry to use the word here, I have a very dominating husband who would say, I will do all the expenses, you know, and you tell me where is the grocery shopping going. But most of the cases that I have seen people around, and I've got several people who are, you know, who are non-working women, who are friends around, and everybody gets a money, everybody budgets their expenses. So you get like, let's say if I give, you know, I'm just taking a ballpark figure. Suppose somebody gets a 20,000 rupees to run a kitchen and a house. Okay, which means your groceries and your regular expenses. So as a housewife, as a woman, it is my capability. You know, I don't have to always show my brains and my capabilities in a work when I'm working in a corporate. But if I can manage my house, that itself is a one big job. You know, managing a house is also like a homemaker is also a job which government does not recognize. But yes, I have to how well I manage my house, whether I get my groceries from a you know, like in a cheaper store, but not compromising with the quality, or in bulk, or somewhere where I know that there are, you know, options available of sale or big bazaar buys. I mean, as a housewife, I have to see all those things. I have to always keep my eyes and ears open to see where I can save. So even if I've saved 2,000 out of the 20,000, it's a big achievement for me. You know, that's where I come. Where do women what do housewife women do? They you know, you see a lot of these resellers these days. Okay, what do? They are the housewomen who come, who you know, accommodate themselves, or kind of you know, connect themselves with a lot of people who are doing product selling but do not have access to digital marketing and a lot of social media. Coming back to what Nisari had said, that there are so many job opportunities you can do from home. So you connect yourself, you do your reselling of products from home, which is purely on digital marketing or on social media, and earn your money from there. The money that you earn, maybe it's some families, maybe it's a contribution to the family, but for some families, it's your own money. You invest into the market, you invest into the shares, you invest into the stocks, you invest into anything that pleases you and that you feel that you're going to do better with your money. So, you know, that's where the non-working women come. The husbands, I've also seen a lot of men who would give an extra money to their wives. Like, this is your money to blow up. Okay, you go shop, you go your parlor visits, you do whatever you want to do. That's the money. It's up to you how much you want to spend and how much you want to save. The fact is that investment is a habit. As long as you have that habit to save, you know, it's like a, you know, I used to, as a when my children were small, I used to for everything have a piggy bank for them. And I used to tell them that, look, keep money into that, and then when you need a you know, a new bat or a new table tennis table or a racket or something, break your piggy, take out the money from that. I will contribute whatever's the balance to it, rather than coming to me and saying I need 1,000 rupees today to buy something tomorrow morning. No. When we come to the working women, it's a very clear thing We all are aware of where the investment opportunities lies. We are all well versed, well read, and there's so much available on the social media as it comes to the doing investments in the money market, your mutual funds, your SIPs. Today, you can start an SIP with 500 rupees. You don't even have to say that, okay, unless and until I have 5,000, 10,000, I will go into the money market. You can start an SIP. And, nothing better than the power of compounding. You save 500 rupees every month into an SIP. At the end of the month, it's like, you're surprised that you will have some money into your kitty. And it's always a pleasure to see that extra money on your pocket. So for a working woman with your salaries, if you say, okay, fine, 20% of my salary is what is straight away going into the investments. And then my expenses start, and then I allocate my money, is always be a good habit. And I have for years followed that, and I've found that as the most wonderful habit, which has always been, I've been able to meet all my expenses,
Lovely.
planned or unplanned.
Awesome. Lovely to hear. So I'm going to ask the other ladies over here, what is your habit of saving and what's your advice of making it happen? Sanjana, over to you. Please tell us what we should do and what are you doing? Probably both answers. That will help us.
Thanks, Manjula. So I'm going to bring in a little different perspective. A lot of times, even if we were working and earning ourselves, we've ended up giving control of our account to our spouses or partners. I wonder why we do that. So we end up not taking the burden of financial planning. We may still manage the household grocery, very well with the money that we have on hand. But anything else which Aarti mentioned, whether it's mutual funds, whether it's SIP, whether it's stocks, whether it's any other investment, including your tax declaration, we end up seeking support from somebody else, or we just don't do it ourselves. I think that's what Nisri's platform is all about, is to take charge of that. For me, financial independence is where I know where my entire earning is going. I know how my tax is getting deducted. I know what is the investment I have to do to save my tax. Beyond that, if I want to save money for my child's education, for myself, for doing my own certifications, courses, or even going to a staycation, I want to spend that, I should know how I'm bucketing this. But most important is saving for future. We just end up not taking charge of that. So this is something I want to say. If you're not, even if you're not earning right now, when you do, please do reverse the situation where you are not sharing your passwords with anyone. You are taking charge of your own account. And believe me, Manjula, when I got to understand the statistics, there are many women who were at a senior most level. Even then, they were not doing this themselves.
True.
Right? Or not even making an attempt to understand how it works, especially the tax, tax deductions that happen when you're working. Now, the other part of saving money, in fact, I think again, this is a natural instinct to women. We're very good at doing that, because even in the past, when our mothers were not working, our grandmothers were not working, men used to come and give their earning to them and say, "You take care of rest." So we are actually good at financial planning, and we would always know different, what do we say, boxes where our mothers would have kept money, different places, so that they don't end up using it, very generously as we do today, but save it for future. Anytime we've remembered our fathers or uncles would have asked for money for something important, they would hand over that box to them. And that was no savings account. It was their own savings. So which
Lovely.
means we can do it. I think it's a matter of we taking charge of doing it. And even if numbers are difficult, even if maths are difficult, again, not a stereotype. We should break this stereotype for ourselves that women are not good with numbers. And we all learn maths. Boys did that, girls did that in the same school. So we all got the same type of education, right? So we should take that plunge and say, I want to understand this better. I think for me, that's the only thing that will get you started. Then there is no limit. My own sister, she didn't work after her first child. She has two children. Today, she's 4 years elder to me. She has started stock market investments. She did her own certification by saving money into Vastu Shastra by spending about 1.5 lakh. and then she started stockbroking. And she's now ended up saving in just 1 year of time span. She's saving so much money that could fund her own child's second child's education.
Love.
She's not working anywhere, but she did that herself. She just had to take that plunge.
Awesome. So this is the great learnings for us and takeaway as well. I would say that, right? As you rightly said, our mothers and grandmothers had money without any saving bank account, right? And I also would like to add, we do have it. It's not that we don't want to come back and openly say that we do have it. That's the girls' forward. Everybody is having. If there is any emergency at family, they are capable of producing the money what is needed to support that part of it. But then, as you rightly said, adding that financial literacy in a right way to put it across what and how to do that, it makes a wonder. And the great example of your sister, right, where she has just taken a break and now she has come back, invested to learn about it and making taking care of a second child education by herself. Lovely. Thank you, Sanjana. This is really inspiring. So before we go to Nisri, let's hear from Padma and then I'll just end with Nisri about this topic. Padma, how do you just save or what is your tips for just do about it? Just tell us about it.
Yeah, when it comes to, I mean, I'll just touch upon the working women. The thing is like, yes, when we have to know that it's like we have to save money, at the same time, we need to ensure that we need to enjoy our life also, right? It should not be like, because one set of people, they're just into saving, saving, and saving. No, that should not be the way. We should be good enough to balance it out in terms of like how exactly you want to spend at the same time you take care of your future as well, right? So yes, small things adds up to, I mean, like the way Aarti was mentioning, even when you start off with a smaller number also, it's good enough. Small amount is also good enough because you never know. See, one fine day same thing happened. I was like Sanjana was mentioning, I'm like the set of people who are like least bothered about the investment. Okay, because I'm in my own tensions and other things to take care of, because everything is coming any which way. End of the month I'm getting the salary, it's getting credited to my account, and EMIs or whatever is there, this is going on, right? But then when it comes to what kind of investment that I should do, actually I'm just not a great, I mean, I'm not good at it all. I can say that I'm not very bad at it. In fact, I can term it like that. Okay. One fine day, what happened? I've been to ICICI Bank to get, I mean, to get a loan. I think it's a for this down payment. And I paid the down payment. I was just waiting for the this one DD from them. And just that person said, "Ma'am, why don't you go for RD?" Okay. The small started with a small amount. I said, okay. Just because he said, I said, okay. And I just did it. And I completely forgotten about it. After 1 year, I was surprised. Oh, this much money has been created to my account. And it's like I've collected. I was surprised with that. So that's what the small things, there's some kind of a push is definitely required when it comes to women. At the same time, whatever this one Sanjana mentioned, yes, women are good at maths, and we have seen the live examples of our own mothers and grandmothers, how exactly they were just managing the financials. But then, yes, the thing is like we need to have some kind of an interest, and now we have lots of opportunities in terms of knowing. I mean, it's not like we can't say anything like we don't have options to learn something from somewhere, right? So lots of opportunities that we have. We can just visit, just go and do a Google. You'll get to know a lot of things that, I mean, that will give you lots of leads as to what exactly you need one can do, and what kind of the only thing is we need to take up that interest. So I always believe in interest and intent. Okay, so if you have your own interest in doing something, definitely you can achieve it. That's a push. We have to do it ourselves. So my request is like to the wonderful audience over here, please be strong, be confident, and please come up. Don't never ever give up on anything. If you take up something, please continue with it.
Lovely. Thank you, Padma, for sharing and getting the surprise of seeing your RD by yourself in a year's time. So that's the power of the money, what you just have. And as you said, we have to Google it. We don't need to Google it, and we have an expert over here. I'm just going to pull her because she created the platform just for that. How do you just save? How do you be financially independent? Over to you, Nisri. Just tell us about it, how to go about.
So, for the non-working women, I would like to say that even if you are not working or you are not earning, still you can be a good money manager by managing your husband's money. Because I have come across many men who have been telling, I'm the one who's earning and she's the one who's managing it. So why don't you become a woman like that, where your husband will tell, okay, my salary has come, you manage it. So the first step towards that is you knowing about the options. Say there are like Padma, Sanjana, Ati, everybody has said there are a lot of ways of learning. We have our own peer groups. See, one thing which always I used to tell my friends like that, oh, we women know when we get together for a coffee, we never talk about money. We talk about everything else in the world, shopping or gossiping or anything, even career, everything, but we never talk about money. But you go to a men's group, they will be talking about the share market, the stocks, the real estate, and everything. So I would say, even if not like men, at least women should have some kind of financial conversations in their groups. So that if suppose your husband is giving you, say, suppose 10,000 or 20,000 a month, you can have your own thoughts or ideas. So where to invest it? So that is one way of doing it. Like your husband is making money, you are managing it. So you need not manage the entire money, but at least a part of it you can manage. You can make it work for you, for him, and for your family, and show him, see, I have invested the money you gave me, and I put it in, say, stock market or mutual fund. See, this is the growth of the money. That is one way you can gain the confidence of your husbands, of your family. Second thing is that, say, if suppose you don't know about the investment avenues and your husband himself is doing, at least you can know the passwords of it. You know what is happening, and you can at least do the portfolio management for him, at least a portfolio review for him. Say, suppose he has invested in somewhere and it is not performing. You can at least tell him, okay, there was an investment here and we have not changed it, or can you just talk to your investment manager about it? You can give the guidance to him at least. There are a lot of women who doesn't know the passwords of their husband's bank accounts or their own bank accounts. Many of them know they have bank accounts and they ask their husbands to do the transactions for them. So at least whatever you have, say, suppose the money which is given to you for your shoppings or other household management, or the money which your husband is giving you to manage whatever it is, you can take charge of that. Maybe you can experiment a little bit of that, take a little bit of guidance or an advice. There are people like Aarti, there are a lot of advisors on our platform too, who help. There are women advisors who help, who talk about money in your own language, a language which you understand, and tell you what to do with your money. Or suppose if you're not able to go to any of these platforms, just like Padma has mentioned, you visit your bank, maybe your banker will tell you just start an RD with as low as 500 rupees. Just forget it's a very small amount. You just do it regularly, and you can see the magic. Maybe after 5 years, you will be surprised to know that there is a good amount. Because I have tried this for my sons. We started a small kids account for my son. Every month we used to just automated the process of transferring some 5,000 rupees to it. We were not even thinking about it. After 5 years, we were surprised to know how the money has grown. So these are the very small things which we can take charge of our finances. And most importantly, I think women go with a product mindset, because a good old LIC agent who's your neighbor will tell you, like, why don't you invest in LIC? You go to a jewelry shop and your that shop person will tell you, hey, we have a scheme. You invest as low as 500 rupees. When your daughter is turning 18, you will get this much of amount. You fall for it. So instead of taking these kind of advices or having a product mindset, I would like to say have a kind of portfolio mindset. where you think, however small you are investing, you think maybe what can give me high returns, like whether you invest in mutual funds or keep a part of it in FDs or RDs, or balancing between these two, rather than just going and giving it everywhere, even if it is a small amount, giving it to a jewelry saving scheme, or investing it in gold, or just investing it in some insurance plan which is not giving you returns. Diversify it, like a bit of it in RD, a bit of it in SIPs, even if it is very small amount. So you yourself can understand how much an RD is giving, how much an mutual fund is giving. You yourself can review it and understand it, and that itself a learning. So today you have invested in mutual funds and you are seeing that the difference of the performance between an RD and the mutual fund, that itself is a learning for you. You get the confidence to invest 500 more to mutual fund next time. So that is the way you gain confidence, by taking small steps. And of course, always you should have a peer group where you can go out, discuss, but don't blindly follow anybody else's advice, because what worked for your friend may not work for you. Just know about their Google is your best friend. You can read about things. You can ask your friends, and try experimenting with small amounts, small money, and make it grow.
Awesome. Lovely, Nisri. Thanks for just sharing that. And once again, I would like to reiterate to our audience, visit Nisri platform too. She talks about money, her money. That's her organization. She talks about it and passionate about making sure everybody is able to just get the financial the literacy for at no cost. That's where I wanted to just tell that she organizes the frequent events and workshops. Be part of it. Taking a knowledge anywhere, go for it. Whether it is a Google or platform like her, it doesn't matter. But at the end of it, we have a power and we can just make that happen. Thank you so much, Nisri, for just sharing that tips for us. Okay, good. So now we have just spoken two things, right? One, we just spoke about the career. Coming back is easy. This is an era where we are standing. Women can do wonder. And financial literacy, more than that, I would say that we do have a power of saving. There is no way where we can say that women are not capable of doing it. They are the best person, where whether they are earning or not earning, it doesn't matter. They have a capacity and the capability to save more money, and we are all a witness for all those things. So with that, I also would like to just pick up a question of one thing. People will works for both working women and non-working women, with the guilt of I have to raise the children and I need to be attached myself as taking care of the children. That is not allowing me to just take care of the career as a priority. I just wanted to hear your thoughts, all of you, to just share that thought. So that will just feed another thought process in the back of our mind. Taking care of the kids is one of the work, not the only work. So with that, so probably I can just ask Aarti to talk about, because she has just done it in an excellent way. So did you have a guilt feeling, or how did you manage it, Aarti?
Manjula, the first thing which I did is I put the guilt at the backdrop. Okay. I never had the guilt feeling. And I, from day one, told my children that, look, a mom has to go out, mom has to work. So there was a lot that they had to do themselves. I had a very good support system in terms of domestic help at home, which was there. I used to travel a lot with my work, remembered, but my kids were very independent from day one. So, the thing is that it's lot required with how you plan your work and home life together, how you balance it. That was the most important thing. So we had, there were like, maybe we didn't do impromptu things many times, so we had to always plan it. Like there was always a day plan, Sunday certain activities will be done. So you would, like, entire day would go back and you would say, okay, fine. Entire week would go by and you would say, okay, I have to go out with the children on Sunday. So you were never missing out on that. The also with me initially, the work timings were such that gave me a lot of timing with the children. Like, as I always tell the younger generation, that I had two duties to do. I used to work 8 to 3 for my office, where I would earn money, and 3 to 8 I would work where I would not earn the money, but I would spend that time with my children. Be it taking them to their cricket classes or taking them to their swimming lessons or any other activity, but that was the time dedicated to them. So I never had the guilt feeling of doing it, and the children were attuned to it. The children were independent from day one. Today, it's a situation that even if I leave one of my child to the in a jungle and say, go feed for yourself, and make money out of that, they will do that. That's how they've been brought up. So they've traveled independently. All of us have traveled independently. So it's like it's how how you attune to the situation. If I be in that situation and keep saying the sorry figure all the time and says, oh, I'm not spending time with my children, I don't know what they're doing. They have their timetable. They would go to the school, come back, do your homeworks. You have your play times, you have your eat times. As long as where I have given you the mommy time or I've given you the time, I'm always available to you. You call me up. I have never refused their calls. School calls up. You were in the office. I have always been available, all their PTMs, all their programs. I've never missed out anything. It was just a matter of timing and planning your schedules. And
Love.
as long as you could do that, I don't think, some people are fortunate when you are, double parents, and they take the responsibilities, they share the responsibilities. Here it was single handedly, but I don't think ever my children felt that the mother was missing somewhere or vice versa.
Wow.
It was just, yeah, it was just time to plan and time to kind of work on
Awesome.
it.
Great to hear that, right? So being a single mom and you were able to just make sure there's no guilt feel, and I just did my duty more than 100% to just get that things. Kudos to you and thanks for sharing the insight. So let's just invite Sanjana. Sanjana, what is your take on it? Do you ever feel guilt about it?
Absolutely not. I think the only time I had guilt was when, my son didn't call out my name as the first thing. Very natural to mother, but otherwise, I think I was all about it. You know, uh, I would have loved more time during motherhood to spend time with my child. It was difficult to, initial days to practice keeping him in the creche. We would end up crying ourselves as parents, come back home, do that again for one more day, and then that's how we got tougher. But otherwise, I don't think I have guilt about anything that is left behind that I could have redone. uh, as life unfolds, every opportunity is meant to teach you something. So if you don't derive any tangible outcome, you at least have the learning, which is intangible. I think that's the way to look forward.
Awesome. This is another way to look at that. Every opportunity, let's just learn something out of it. I strongly just urge all the women whom we are just addressing or going to address later as well. There is nothing called guilt. There's nothing called guilt. It's our passion and our career. In fact, the more and more you just showcase that, we are giving a best lesson for our next generation. Thanks for just sharing that. Let's just hear from Nisri. Nisri, did you ever have a guilt feel? Tell us about your kids.
To be honest, I had guilt
Okay.
because each stage of your children's as they grow up, no, the demands or their needs are different. So when I never had a break in my career, and I was brought up as a very independent person. Like my father used to say that you have to do everything your own. So I never relied on anyone like my mom or my father or anybody to get my things done. I was doing things my own. But when you become a mother, your thinking will change actually. So when my son was very small and I was going for work, I had my in-laws and parents, everybody taking care of him, and I was happy. I never had a guilt because the kid is small. He's not differentiating whether it is a mother who's taking care or the grandmother who's taking care. So I never had a guilt. I was happily going office, coming back, things being taken care. But as he started growing older, like they will be having these various issues, like at school they will have something, they want that parent, your mother, near you, and they will be, I mean, complaining about you the times when you are not with them. All these things started cropping up. Then yes, I started feeling guilt. Like my son used to say that, mom, I want you to be here today, I'm not able to do it. There will be other days when he will be saying, let's go for a movie this weekend, let's go for a vacation. I may not be able to do that. So that those situations I had guilt. And I had this feeling like, but I was battling between the guilt and, my work, which is a priority, which is my responsibility. It's just like juggling. Some days you feel guilt, some days you feel happy. It was like that. But now my son has grown up. He's a teenager now. So at that time, now I don't have guilt because now I see my son understanding what I'm going through or my crazy working hours. And he also seeing me some achievements coming. And I've been talking in various platforms. And he used to congratulate me like, okay, mom, it was good. So mom, I'm proud of you. So these things, when I hear, I never feel guilty now. So I think when you have to achieve this, you have to go through certain things. Nothing comes easy for us, no? So you went through that. That stage is over. Now he's understanding, and he's also happy about it. And there's nothing. So I don't think about those days. So, but I know every woman, it will be a mix of feelings like guilt and your own sense of achievement, your dreams and your responsibilities. You have to balance between the both.
Lovely. Awesome. Just to hear about the women talk, right? Yeah, I did have a guilt. I don't want to say no, I didn't have it, but I'm able to see the fruit was just coming. So probably if somebody is just looking at your travel path of a journey, they will also realize that it is natural. We don't need to feel sad and bad about it, but let's just focus and continue to build yourself. One day, what you are just building is going to not only help you, it's also make your family also proud about it. Thanks, Nisri, for sharing that. So, Padma, over to you. I know your story is different here. I wanted to hear about it. Please go about and tell us about
Yeah.
it.
So the thing is like, to be honest with you all, mine was like a late marriage. Okay, my kids are just like my son is just 11 years and daughter is only 7 years. Okay, and coping up with that, and then obviously I was into the, what to say, at the office also I had a lot of, what to say, roles and responsibilities was given because of the tenure that I had spent in the system. And when I had taken that as the career, right? And that is, not it's like I don't want to call it as a priority asset, but yes, since I had started working from, immediately after my graduation, I didn't want to take a break at all. Like the way I said, even for the maternity, I didn't take a break. But at the same time, I believe that I should be spending time, whatever the time that I could spend with this family. I used to ensure that I never used to club or bring the office tension over here and vice versa. So what I used to do is like I used to switch over based on the place that I'm in, right? So when I was going to office, I used to leave back all the tensions, whatever that I have at home, and I never used to. Once I get back to get to office, I used to think only from the office point of view, and then just not worry about what exactly happened at home and what are the tensions that I have, and etc. So, but at the same time, when I used to get back home, my priority is only family, right? I never used to touch my office work at all. Only thing is the kind of the situation that I was in, the kind of role that I was managing, it required for me to log in at night also, address some emails, and then ensure that it's like the work is not getting affected. So for that, I never used to again not compromise on the time with the family. What I used to do is like I used to take care of the kids, spend time, good enough time with them. Obviously, on top of it, I used to have no, cook myself. Okay, so I didn't have any kind of a support as such. And looking at all these things, my friends and all were saying, why don't you ask your parents to come and stay with you? I said, no, I'm not for it. They want, let them enjoy their olden days, right? By themselves. Then I don't want them to give a burden of taking their care of the kids. And it's not that easy for them to manage. So they may be feeling good to spend time with their grandchildren, but then that is not the case. So it depends on the individuals how exactly they want to take it up. So I opted for this particular thing, saying that no, I'll have a domestic help who can take care of it. But then again, I didn't have the full-time domestic. No, it's not like living kind of a domestic help. I used to have only from morning till evening. So once I get back home, I used to spend time with my kids, take care of their, especially when they were younger age, it was really difficult. But then, yes, that's the way it used to be, because the age difference is just 3 years, right? And my son was also small, and then I used to take care of him, and then because he's also needs some kind of a support and help. Yes, I definitely had some kind of a support from my husband. But then for the kids, it's like mother is the one who's like really required. So To be honest, not that kind of a guilt I had, because I know what exactly I'm doing all this. I mean, juggling between all these things, what exactly my intent is, right? So I want to give a good education, good kind of a good lifestyle for my kids, and that's the reason. See, sometimes it so happens, whatever we have not got as a child, we want our children to get all. I mean, we don't want them to deprive of certain things that we have not got. That's the kind of mindset most of the women have, right? And especially the working women, they tend to, I mean, bring in this kind of a point, saying that I should spend, but at the same time, my thing is like, you need to take care of your children, and don't, what to say, just spend, and then they should know, they should also value what exactly each and everything that is being provided by their parents. And this, the cost of living is so high. I want all, I mean, it's recommended and suggested for all the women who are not working, because of various reasons they have to take up the work, and they have to, even if it is a smaller job, it's fine. Just you have to start somewhere, right? And there is no age bar, there is no age bar now. It's like you just need to start somewhere and take some kind of a guidance. Definitely there are a lot of people, a lot of this one platforms, everything is there for you to guide where examine how exactly to take it up. Only thing is you need to show the interest and take up some kind of a responsibility for yourself, and then you just need to learn. And moreover, trust me, it's like, even if you are working in a, I mean, even if it's a non-working, but because of various reasons you are just a homemaker, but then there are lots of things that you can do which the working women cannot do. You can just, because you can learn so many things by taking care of the household things. You are a multitasker, right? You can do multitasking like anything. Nobody can compete with you actually. You can just, only thing is you need to know how exactly you can relate when you get into the corporate or something, whenever you start working.
Awesome.
So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Padma, for sharing the views about it. So, we are coming to the end of the section where we wanted to address the final points for you to be inspiring leaders for our community as a takeaway, what we are just going to do about it. So, here we just want you to just address two things. One is your inspiring message for the community, and inspiring message for her second innings too. We wanted to learn from you. We are just doing our best to just make sure. But if at all you think we can just do something or wanted to share your words about her second innings, feel free to just share that. Both are welcome, and we are happy to learn and then take a cue from you. So over to you, Sanjana. Just happy to bring you over here to talk about it. Share a few words about her second innings and your inspiring words for our community. Go for it.
Manjula, you're doing a great job already by even tapping into women who are wanting to come back to career. If you ask me, I don't have access to this information and data. So you're already doing that. Then providing a platform, giving them those internship projects where they could build their confidence, hone their skills, and then join corporate. I know it's difficult. It's not something that one can easily achieve. So her second innings has been doing wonderful job doing that. Uh, my message to you would be to continue doing that. Reach out to corporates. There are platforms like UN Women Empowerment Principles, which promote the kind of ventures that you have and help you reach out to corporates. Maybe you should try doing that. But the inspiring message to the audience is, I see one message where the lady has written that I took a 14-year break and I don't know what to do now. Am I a fresher or not? First of all, don't think that you did not achieve anything in your 14-year break. You definitely would have raised two children or done something else by taking a break. So you were not loitering around, right? When you took that break, there was a reason why you took that. So don't think that you did not achieve. Boost your confidence that you will be able to restart. Restart not just by taking a job in a corporate. There are a lot of jobs which allow part-time opportunities, even by working from home. So you will slowly be able to kickstart. Start with a part-time if you're feeling scared or have any issue with confidence, then do a full-time job. If you believe what you learned is not what you want to do as your career, you identify that thing right now. If you don't want to do any of this, I would suggest to take a path like Aarti has taken or Nesri has taken, which is to be independent, on by doing something else which is not to do with corporates. It could be a investment banker, it could be a tax consultant. There are plenty of courses available for you to get certified, and you'll be able to kickstart. If just gather on a lot of information which is available on the internet, but otherwise there are a lot of people who are giving these advices as well. Go ahead and do that. The moment you gather your confidence, you will be able to crack that interview. The first one may not click, the second may not click, but the third one will definitely click. So my message is, don't give up. You've not lost anything. If you have that desire to get started, which means you are on the right track. That's all.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sanjana. Yeah, never ever give up. And platform like us, corporate like Sanjana's or Padma's, they are all opening the hands to do that. Yes, there are little bit of a process where we are gearing up to just handle about it, but we can do it and be confident and connect with any platform. It's just not her second innings. There are plenty of platforms that just opened up, and be connected, and then make sure you are able to come back to the work stream. Thanks, Sanjana, for your inspiring words. Let's just hear from Aarti. Aarti, please go ahead.
July, you all are doing such a wonderful job. When I read about her second innings previously when we connected on the network, brilliant to do that. And I think the message to all the women is keep your passion alive. You are never you don't underestimate yourself. Don't ever think that I've been out of the job and I've lost. The skills that you've got, the basic skills that you have will never let you down anywhere. You just have to, just say what, brush up your skills and be back into the circulation again. Maybe people who are on technical may need to do, I don't understand the IT sectors and all, people who work on the backdrops, like maybe they need to upgrade their skills and all. But then there's so much available these days on the social media, Google and all. Keep reading, keep enhancing your knowledge. Even if you're not going to the job now or do it a year later, just enhance your knowledge. That's it. You have favorite subjects, you have favorite topics, read about it. LinkedIn, social medias, everything is available. And to me, you can achieve at anything. Be at home and work, be at home and work at home, from home only, go to a corporate, work as an investment banker, work any category you can, as long as you can manage. For me, time management is the most important thing. You can manage any part of the life: one child, two child, four children, family, in-laws, servants, dogs. Everything is manageable as long as I know my square box and I know what I have to fit into that. So time management, keep your passion alive. Don't ever underestimate yourself. You're comparable to any other human being. Go for it, man.
Awesome, lovely, Aarti. Thank you so much. Right, so it's all the way. It's heartening to hear about it. Age is just the bar. You put your square box and fit whatever you want. Rest, you will be able to manage yourself. Right. Thank you so much for sharing about it. Padma, over to you.
Yeah. Her second innings, Mandala, I know you from last 4 years, our association. It appears as if we know for.
Are we losing Padma? All of you are able to hear Padma, or am I losing her?
No.
No, right? We're not able to hear Padma.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think we've kind of.
oh, okay, fine. So then we will just go with Nisri on street. Padma, are you able to hear us? Here. Maybe, I think, a network issue. Nisri, go for it, Nisri. What is your inspiring message to us and our community? Please go for it.
Manjula, you're really doing a wonderful job. I'm working with a lot of women platforms, but her second innings is one of the one platform that is very close to my heart. The reason is that, no, it is like an extended family. So there are many platforms which give you support in terms of connecting with the corporates. There are a lot of learning modules which you can go and learn, or you will have this master classes which you can pay and attend, or there are a lot of platforms I've seen like that. Even I'm also associated with them. But Manjula's platform, her second innings, why I like is that you give end-to-end support, like you connect them with the corporate, you give them the training, and more importantly, you give them the emotional support. And the community is there always to help you out. So that's why I love this, what you're doing. And coming to words of inspiration, I would love to say that a break is not an end to your career. It is a time to rediscover yourself, because all of us are talented. We all have hidden talents, which we may not be aware of it in the busy life. So when you have a break, maybe it helps you to discover yourself, your passions, your talent, think something different, think something innovative, start small and build on it. If you're just taking my example, I used to write. I mean, I was a writer, but I never realized that has become a career, or I can become a writer. I never thought. But I just got into the banking field and I was just working there. When I started discovering myself. I sat back and thought about myself only. I thought I understood that I can write, I can make writing as a profession. That's when I quit. So like that, each one of you have your own talents, be it designing or cake making or cooking or anything. Discover yourself and set the goals for yourself, not to, show anyone, but just for you, your satisfaction. That's all.
Lovely, Nisri. Thank you so much for inspiring us all the time and every time. You never just let us down on that. Thank you so much for doing that. In fact, I would be saying that if you have just taken a break, that means you're blessed to just come to that, because you should just talk to the people who are continuously working. I never had a break. I wish I can just do that, but I'm unable to do that. But
I never had a break.
Don't worry, we will create one. Don't worry, so that we can create another passion for you to just create another entrepreneurship. Don't worry, we know this now. Right. So this is where it is the beauty. By force or by voluntarily, you have just created it. Take it as a blessing. Rediscovered, and whatever you want to do, you don't need to go back to the same job just because you want to. Now you have a time to choose that what you wanted to do. Well said, Nisri. Thank you so much for inspiring us. And now let's just hear from Padma. Padma, hope you're just back over here.
Yes. Sorry, I think there was some disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to tell you, that her second innings is doing a fabulous job. So our association is just 4 years old. I feel that it's like we have a longer relationships, right? So the kind of opportunity that you're giving, you're encouraging, inspiring the women who have taken a break, and then you are trying. I know how much you are struggling to get some kind of a breakthrough through the various corporates. So you're doing a fabulous job. I think you should just continue to do that. And then yes, if you look at it, majority of the corporates are looking at improvising on the diversity hiring. So I think so. The kind of inspiration that you're giving to them, I think you just need to keep pushing for that. And then definitely most of the women, I think whoever is there on this particular platform, I think they need to connect and they need to encourage the other set of people who are not working. Please note that, my message to all of the audience over here is, please ensure that don't limit yourself to just, for various reasons you would have taken a break in your career, but then please restart your career. That is very, very much required when it comes to a woman. You can be independent, and not only independent, you will be giving some kind of a support to the family. And I just mentioned sometime back that it's like cost of living is so high now, and it's like a single earning to the family definitely is not going to work out, right? So when you've learned something, please try to gain something out of it. So we normally call it as like, because I take care of vendor management. So we invest a lot in so many things when it comes to the recruitment services. And definitely when we're investing, we need to look at an ROI, right? So since you've already learned something, please try to gain out of it so that it will be useful for yourself. You'll get some kind of peace of mind also when you're working. Otherwise, you'll just get restricted only to the family all the time, right? So you also need to lead life. You need to lead your own life, right? I know families also, it's very important, but somewhere, sometime, you should also find time for yourself. I feel that it's like when you start working, the environment will change, and that will definitely help you do be a better personality of yourself. So that's a
Awesome.
message to me. So once again, I want to tell that be confident and be positive. So your positive thinking is very, very much required. Okay, and never ever give up. Never ever give up. That is very important. That's the key for your life to achieve greater things. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you, Padma, for your inspiring words. And as the people have just said, please, please don't just take this as a break. It's a break. You can just come back. I really love that kind of a pleasing. You have just done that for the community. Just do that. So I'm really happy about it and glad about it. And also, you touched based on the ROI of it. You just invested yourself on going to the college and started working, and why you should be at home and just get the best out of it. More than that, I would just also add one more point towards that. When you're just working, the kind of family support you are giving is much more than that. I think the moment we just add that in our back of mind, you will start exploring the ways for making it happen. Your child only needs for a specific time, not for 7 by 24. The kind of a care you're going to give in that specific time, plus the additional support for financial independence to your family, is the greater impact and the results. So thanks for sharing it, Padma. It was really lovely. And thank you so much. And we also wanted our audience to just connect with our leaders over here, whomever you wanted to interact, and feel free to just open up. I know you wouldn't have been with the video ready part, but being this is a women community, you don't need to feel sad and bad about it. We are happy to just bring you, and you can just talk to any one of us. Thank you so much for just picking it up. So while we are just going to wind up, and we will just give some time for any of the audience whether they wanted to say hi to you in person and then look into that their questions. um, uh, I really would like to just personally thank each and every one of you who have just taken your time and being with us. Your time is really valuable, more than me sitting over there. It is the valuable to our community. You have just given your time. I can't say thanks for your time. It is something where everyone would have just taken even a one input for their life. It's a life turning moments where you have just given an insight right from financial independence, and how do we carve out the career, and how not we can just feel guilt about it and continue to move forward. Every pointer was a valuable pointer, and you have just given your time to us to just take a great inputs and then ponder about it. So while we are going to wind up, is there any resources you would like to share for our community? Anyone of us just have it? If yes, I would like you to welcome and then share about that resources to us. Anyone you have Nisri? I know your platform. Is there anything else you would like to add, Nisri, for them to ponder about it after our discussion?
Anything if they would like to know how they can, because we talk all about financial independence and financial literacy, or so if they want to know about the opportunities of getting started, or if they want to know how they can start a small investment or a small in savings, always happy to help them.
Yeah, so her money talks just brings a lot of information and events. Stay connect with her, and that would just help you to just become taking the first step. Aarti, would you like to share anything?
Sure. I'm also here in my capacity as representing WICI, which is the Women Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the Banking and Credit Council. We do a lot of the programs for women for financial literacy, as Nisri also mentioned, which are called FinWin series. So FinWin series is we also do them with corporates. We also do them with individual groups, like we did it for her second innings and some of their members, where we talk about basic investments, how to get into the investments, how to start small and make your money grow. And it's about an hour of a session. So any of the corporates who would like, for your junior staffs and all, or for your freshers, that's the kind of programs we do, and which give them financial literacy and again help them to get into the investments in a little educated way, so that you don't go wrong with your money.
Awesome. That's really lovely
We've
to
done that for White Hat Junior. We've done that for many companies over the last year or so. So Wiki basically promotes that series for junior staff.
Awesome. So, looking forward, and people also just share your resources to us as well. We will also take it forward to our community show to share in case if at all anything you have to just go for it. Sanjana, would you like to share anything? Please go
I
for
mean,
it.
first of all, would request Nisri as well as Aarti to share the exact name of the foundations or the ventures you are working on, so that all of us know what exactly to capture instead of again going and searching. I'm glad to hear about the Finwin series, and Aarti, I would like to explore that as well.
Sure,
Uh,
I'm
so,
gonna get
um,
connected with you.
Sure. So from the organization that I come from, which is Gensa Technologies, we have a platform called Enliven. It's ENLIVEN. It's basically, getting women back from their career break. While we did pilots with Manjula and got a bunch of women trained on SFDC, offered internship for about 3 months, and then after the training program, they were onboarded full time. We ensured that the salary was not compromised just because they took a break, and they're all very happy, by the way, Manjula. I keep talking to them frequently. uh, my suggestion would be to brush up on the technology gap that would have happened. There are a lot of newer technologies which allow you to start afresh even if you don't have a lot of experience, like SFDC, Java, AWS. And then if you already have this knowledge, you could do certifications. Those are the things that companies are looking at. If you'd like to change track, again, you don't have to do a full MBA, but look for short courses and certifications from Coursera or Udemy to begin with. But try and see organizations that offer internship to begin with if you're not fully confident of taking a full-time role. And then, of course, there is Ansar. If you've already bridged the skill gap in terms of technology, then you could reach out to us through the Enliven channel. We have that open through our website as well, but otherwise, even Manjula could help you with that.
Lovely. Thank you so much for sharing that input. And more than that, we are thankful to Zensar for bringing our women. And then, yes, as you rightly said, we also keep hearing from our, recently, last week, I just got a call from them saying that hey, this is the best organization I can ever be part of it, right? So that's the call on a Saturday. I was able to hear from our community member. Thanks for giving that opportunity. But more than that, thanks. We have to give the thanks back to you for helping us to just bringing the women back to work through that art channel. Thank you so much, Sanjana, and for your entire leadership team. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Manjula.
Yes. So over to you, Padma. Tell us about any resources you can think of for our community you wanted to share. Padma?
Yeah. So when it comes to the IT, what I suggest is I mean, first thing that they need to rethink about the resume. So to see, the thing is, as I said, it's like that is the key. It's like whenever they're applying for any of the job, first thing that they need to ensure that their CV is the way that is required to be looked from the corporate or any organization for that matter. So to do that, what they can do is like they can just take a look at Glassdoor. There are lots of sites actually. So the one that I can think of is like Glassdoor, where they can just go and check out on their qualification vis-a-vis the job postings that are available. So what kind of mapping that can be done. So which job would be suitable for them, and as per that they can come up with a resume, so that it will be useful for them to just apply and take it over. And then any which ways, as I said, the hard second innings is doing a fantastic job in providing them. So I mean, with Infosys, we are opening a channel of hiring them as a subcontractors for a shorter duration, and if they're doing that based on their performance, then they'll be converted onto full time. So that is another channel that we have, right? So either they can apply directly. Definitely, it's not like we're not going to look at them. We are encouraging, like the way I mentioned, most of the corporates, like I mean, Infosys also encouraging people to restart their career with Infosys, right? So definitely, you can just visit our career site and There are lots of requirements that have been published over there. You can just give a try over there, right? And other thing is like on the job, learning is the key for people who are going to join back, right? When they're restarting. So whatever the kind of certification you would have done, or the kind of brush up in your skills you would have done, it doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is like once you start the career, once you got that opportunity, that is required. That I'm not saying that is not, but definitely required to just get into the organization. Once you get into the organization, you have to learn on a daily basis what exactly is required, because each and every company culture is different, and each and every kind of job that is required to be performed is different, right? So that is what you need to learn. So that shouldn't be a problem for you to get back to your career.
Awesome. Lovely, Padma. Thanks for just sharing the insight. And once again, formal thanks to you once again for making our community to be part of the Infosys, and do that. You and your leadership team are literally supporting for bringing every woman to Infosys. Thank you so much for helping us too. So with that, I couldn't see any of our women coming and sharing the screen with us. Not sure why and how. Probably next session we will prepare them and make sure they are also going to be part of it, because that's the arrangement we have made. We were expecting some of the women are going to share the space with us, and maybe it takes time for our women community to come forward and do that. Next time we will prepare it and then come, so that we will get that space shared by with everyone. So we will do that. And as I just said, so in here the thank you note or an appreciation note, we wanted to give it to you in a different way. One, our heartfelt thanks to you always is there, and we also wanted to take your time to be given to our one of the community member to reskill them. So that's what is going to happen, as I just said in the earlier note. So instead of giving a mementos, we wanted to thank you by giving that time and wisdom, by giving the upskilling opportunity for our community member. We will do that and come back and share that success story as well. So with that, I sincerely thank each and every one of you today where you are with us, and would like to just continue our relationship, and we will keep join our hands and nurturing our community. As a society, we need to make sure we are equal, and we should have our own voice, and we should be able to craft our own journey. With that, before we just wind up, I see Nisri is just raising the hand. Nisri, go for it.
No, I wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. So I just
You
thought
want me anything to add?
I just saw your hands were coming. I thought you wanted to say something about it.
Okay.
Yes, great. So thank you so much, everybody, and people. All of us are joining hands. Her second innings is not the single entity who does that. People like you are the evangelist, well-wishers, and be together. Corporates are joining hands together to make it. Of course, our community members are trusting us, and we are able to do wonder for them. Thank you so much, and looking forward to just bring you in another event and create a wonderful impact for our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you
A
very much. Thank you for having
Thank
us
you.
over, Manjula, and a pleasure meeting all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. It was wonderful interaction
Yes.
with you all. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Padma. Thank you, Sanjana. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you. Lovely team. Have a great day, and looking forward to just help each and everyone stay connected with her second innings, and anytime and every time. We do have our Wednesday 11:30 career guidance session. Join us, and we would be more than happy to just help each and everyone and ensure we are all joining our career back and to have a rocking career and rocking financial independence. Wishing you all the best and signing off from here. Thank you very much for second innings team. Manjula. Bye.